What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the LoofCast. I don't remember what episode this is going to be, if I'm being honest, but I'm pretty sure this is probably 37 or something, if we're not already in the 40s. It's
Yeah,
an
who knows at
episode,
this point.
but welcome back.
Welcome to the
It has
episode.
been, it has been exactly 24 hours since the last episode went up, and I know, you boys fucked up. If you'd like an explanation on where the hell we went over winter in January, feel free to go back to our little winter episode that I posted, and that will have all the updates and stuff that you would like to know.
Yep.
But
It's been a busy. To kind of summarize it up in like 10 seconds. We've been busy.
yeah, no, we have.
It's the holidays.
Yeah, we have. It's the holidays,
You know.
plus, the busy start of the new year. Like, it just really hit us both, and we had zero time to do anything over the last 2 months, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a new job. He had things. Yada yada.
We both got new jobs, actually.
Yep.
Because I can talk about this now. I'm working for Thirst Project a little bit. But, yeah. It's been fun, but, yeah, it's been a very busy 2 months. But other than that, I know you guys will have heard this in yesterday's episode about how we're doing, but we haven't recorded in about, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So how have you been over the last 2-3 weeks?
I mean, I'm hanging in there.
I
remember
feel
the new
it.
job I said I got.
Yeah.
I didn't end up making it.
Oh, you did?
So- No, I didn't end up making it. Yeah, so I gotta get a new job again. But it's all right. It's okay. It wasn't the fact that they didn't want to keep me. It's
They
the
couldn't.
fact that here's the thing. When you work at a warehouse store, that's all I'm gonna call it. When you work at a warehouse store, you there's certain amount of contracts that they can sign per season, right?
Yeah.
They were given 12 at the beginning of the season, but by the end, they only had 5. They because of pay
Yeah.
cuts and stuff like that from up top. So I just happened to not make the final 5 because they
Yeah.
didn't expect to have 5. So
Yeah, they
It is
expected
what
to
it
have 12 contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
it's all good.
Yeah. No, I feel that, though. It has definitely been busy as shit, like, at work the last few weeks, so I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Oh,
say, this is going to be fun. Since this is going up on the 31st, this will be in like 4 days at this point, but your boy actually got into a game tournament that I will be participating in this Saturday.
Oh
Which will be fun.
shit!
Yeah, hilariously
playing?
enough, it's a Minecraft tournament. You ever heard of Crown Quest?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Duh.
I'm in the one
Of course,
that
I should know about that.
I'm in the one this
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's me, Swift,
Oh, yeah.
Wubdub, and Steph. That's our team. So we're gonna be running that, it'll be
Gotcha.
pretty fun. I'm hoping. I keep
For anyone that actually wants information on that stream will take place Saturday, right?
this Saturday, February 3rd, and it's gonna be at 12 p.m. PST. But the actual event takes place at 3 p.m. EST. So, for those of you who are in EST times, or if you know EST times better than the West Coast of the U.S., it's gonna be 3 p.m. EST. But for me, starting at noon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's gonna.
And
that's
for
gonna
you,
be pretty fun.
Carter, and for you, Carter, who's listening in fucking Edmonton, you fucking bitch, it's 2 hours. All right, it's 1 o'clock.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I just had to make fun of it.
No, that's fair. That is totally fair. But yeah, that'll be fun. I keep like bullying Swift lightly about it, saying I'm gonna like aim for 40th individual just for fun, like last place, dead last. And, like, every time like Swift, they're like, all right, let's do some training. I'm like, I gotta train for 40th, man. We're doing this.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm actually not
It's
bad.
funny,
I think
it's
I'll
actu-
probably get somewhere around 15th.
There you go. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I actually was also in a gaming tournament, very much smaller, not like an official, like kind of as official as Crown Royale is.
Yeah.
But this
You said
was
Crown
a stream
Royale.
that- Crown Royale, you know what I mean.
I do. It's just funny.
But there's this guy named AskPat13. He does. If you recognize that name, if you're from my channel, that is the Rocket League guy that I used sometimes stream with. He was the guy that I casted with.
Oh yeah.
I casted his tournament with. Yeah. So he hosts regular tournaments with his viewers sometimes, and I won a free for all tournament. This is the
Hell
first
yeah, dude.
like tournament player based thing that I've ever won. So
Dude,
there's no
hell yeah.
prize or anything. It was just for fun. But hey,
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
a
that's
win
the
is
thing.
a win.
When it comes to like tournaments, like I play them for fun. Like I could never do the competitive esports scene. I never in my life could I handle something like that because like my thing is, my whole branding is that I suck at games, but I'm also I'm also in the games to have fun. Like, yes, I look at like streaming as like a job for myself and everything, and that involves games a lot. But like I don't play them to win half the time. I play like obviously I do make the jokes like, oh, I'm gonna beat you, but like I really couldn't care whether I get first or 40th in a game. Like, 'cause I'm just like, as long as I'm having fucking fun. Like, as long as I and everyone else is having a great time, that's literally all I care about.
Now speaking of fun, I know we're kind of moving this podcast along, but he's got to go to work. So
I do. We're doing this right before work for me. But speaking of gaming tournaments and games and all that, today's topic is actually... Before
we get into today's topic.
Before
we get into today's topic, all right, I have something I'd like to bring to the table because, as Charlie said on his video, the fun police have arrived, and I must admit to my crime of playing Pow World. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
I play Pow World. It came out a week ago to the day, and I have 3 days in the game.
72 hours straight. Man's
I would
installed
like to
it,
take this...
did not walk away from his PC.
Pretty much.
It's VR all over again.
It's so much fun. And listen, I'm going to keep this short and simple, okay? Are there some pals in the game that are very heavily influenced by Pokemon? Yes. Yes, there are.
But here's the thing. What's not influenced by other things? Like, let's be real. There's not a game out there recently that you're gonna find that is 100% original with zero influence from the rest of the world. Even movies and shit. Like,
exactly. There's
not a single piece of work you're gonna find from the last decade that is 100% original without influence from anything else. Even my own shit.
Yeah, it's very rare. There are some cases, but it is humongously rare, right?
Well, I wouldn't even say some cases. Like, everything's gonna be minorly influenced, at least. There are things like Power that'll have some major influence, and there's things that'll have some minor influence. But there's not gonna be really anything that just is like, oh yes, this took no influence from anything. It's 100% my own ideas. I took it from nothing else. Because here's the thing. Life is about being influenced. If you are alive, and if you are creating things, you have been influenced from the experiences, from everything you've experienced while alive. You are being influenced, and that influences whatever the hell you may make.
Yeah, it influences your bias.
Literally. So, like, it is what it is. Are there similarities? Yes. Is it AI, or is it, like, all this, but, like, is it intellectual property still? No, it's a fucking game. Chill the fuck out, Internet.
Yeah, please just chill the fuck out. Like, this game is the most popular game on the planet, and it had a budget of, I think they spent $6.9 million on the game.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was like...
You want to know how much they spent on the last Pokemon game that Game Freak made? $150 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know, like, Power World had a very small budget compared to other games.
Very small. Yeah. Very small.
And before anyone says that 6.9 million is not a small budget, it's not small if you're working on
crack.
Like, yeah, here's the thing, it's not a small amount of money, but it's small in terms of game development.
Yeah, you also need to realize that this was developed by 4 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hang on. Can I do 4 people? No,
I can't.
do 4. I can't do it.
I can do a middle finger.
4 people. All right.
But no,
they already have a roadmap set of what's to come. I'm very excited for that game. Okay, hear me out. This is why I like this game.
If you don't like Ark, you don't like Pokemon, play this game.
Yes, if you did not enjoy Ark or you did not enjoy Rust, because you would have to log in every fucking day to make sure your base is still there, make sure everything's still running, and then log off for 10 minutes, go take a shit, and load back in, and all your shit is gone. If you hated that, play Power World. You'll feel a lot better. It is Ark. It is the fun and joy that you can find from Ark and Rust and those games like that without the pain.
Basically.
Yes, is it buggy? Yes, is it buggy? The game is buggy to all hell. It is a beta. It's early access for a reason.
Even if it wasn't a beta, it's like games have bugs at first. Let them sort shit out. Guaranteed. They're gonna fix it all.
This is a $30 game that is buggy, not a $70 game that comes out super buggy and unfinished.
Yeah,
out of like, $1 billion corporation.
Yeah, this is for devs. Like, it's fine. But yeah. Also, I want to say, as soon as you mentioned Charlie, as soon as you said Charlie, I know he means Moist Critical, but I've been watching a musical recently, and that has been stuck in my fucking head. So as soon as you said that, I have one of the songs on repeat in my brain right now, and it's not fun.
You know, every time I mention Charlie, there are two quotes that pop into my head. And because I'm a Siege player, the first one is misinput. And then the second one is, he's pulling his cock out!
Yeah, no, those are good. I've been watching a fucking musical on Amazon Prime recently, and it's fucked me up now, because every time I hear the name Charlie, which sucks because I'm writing a story where a code name is Charlie.
Damn.
It's fucking repeat in my head, and it's painful. And for anyone wondering what the fucking musical is, it's Has Been Hotel on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have said it was Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, the musical.
What Has Been Hotel is. Yeah.
Yeah, the musical on Amazon Prime. It's been fucking with me because it's been stuck in my. I added like 4 of the songs to my Spotify playlist now. I've been listening to them repeatedly because they're a bop. Yeah. But anyways, into the topic for today.
I think we should. I was about to say, I think we should move on from Has Been Hotel. There's been some things going on there.
The creator's a goddamn nightmare. We'll agree on that. The creator has some very bad, very shit takes. But here's the thing, in my own opinion, I can like the work of somebody while hating the person. Like, creator Has Been Hotel is a piece of fucking work. Don't get me wrong. I see shit about them on social media every day, exposing how much shit they've done. But I like Has Been Hotel.
I will say this in one sentence about that drama. 50K is crazy. That's all I'll say.
That's someone else.
$50,000. Is it that someone else?
Yes. That was a creator by the name of Verbalise who paid to make an animation about a character who is lesbian, basically being obsessed with it.
Yeah.
He's someone completely different.
Yeah, I knew about that. Okay.
The actual creator of Has Been
Hotel. Dramas mixed up.
The actual creator of Has Been Hotel is someone named VisiPop, pretty much. And let's just say they're a really big piece of work around their own art and shit. Like, they repeatedly retweet and like shit that's basically like, oh yeah, stop redesigning my fucking characters, and basically their entire like fandom, which is why I'm not a part of it, is a cult. And the reason I say that is because basically Has Been Hotel fans will typically go out and harass the fuck out of anybody who critiques or redesigns a character for fun. Because one artist I follow, Idle Mantis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. They do a lot of bug artwork and shit like that. But they've gotten harassed repeatedly for redesigning characters or just commenting on the design, like that stuff. They're just like kind of iffy on.
Right.
So yeah, basically, creator Has Been Hotel's got some shit going on, but I like the series itself. Anyways, into the topic for today, because we've got about 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. But the topic of today, basically, focusing on games and the positive and negative effects it has on people. And I mean, starting out, I have a great example of just shit that people spew for no fucking reason that just angers me.
I want to hang on. I want to play devil's advocate. Okay. I want to start with the negative first.
That's where I'm going.
Okay, good.
No, that's where I'm going.
I want to start with the negative first.
Here's the thing. I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit because on one end, I agree with this. And on the other end, I think they're dead fucking wrong. But it's the whole thing of every time like some sort of violent shit happens worldwide, it's all the people that immediately are like, okay, it's your games. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's two sides to that statement. One side I agree with, one side is a fucking idiot. And here are the two sides in my opinion at least. One side, it is not the games causing it. It is mental health. On one end, if you are mentally unwell and all you're playing is a simulation of these, like, of a certain type of genre, that is gonna fuck you up. Like, it's not the game causing it, it is the mental health, and then you going into one sole thing, and that's all you play.
Right.
Like, that is the problem. It is not like, and the side I don't agree with is basically just saying, oh yeah, the games are the things causing all of this violence every time there's a shooting or God knows what else. Like, it's not the games causing it. It is mental health that the games are influencing, because that is all you play. Like, here's the thing. I've played a bunch of games throughout my life. A lot of them have been shooters. Have I ever gone out and shot somebody? No.
Yeah, no, I can't say I have either.
Literally. Like, if
My
me
first,
and him...
The first game I played that was on console, that was like a legitimate game, right? The first game I played on PS3, Black Ops 1.
Literally. Like, the first game I ever played,
This one.
granted it was Minecraft, but I mean, like, motherfucker, I play GTA regularly for streams and shit.
Yep.
I
Play
do
GTA too.
not. I do not carjack people. I don't gun down
No.
civilians in the street. I'm not out there pulling
No.
heists. Like,
No.
and I'm a very mentally unwell person. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
So
I'm
am
a
I.
very mentally unwell person. If I am
Oh
not
my.
doing any of that because I've played a game for the last decade of my life, then it's not the games.
Here's my thing. You want my take on it? You want
Yes.
my take on it? Here's the thing. The problem is people don't know how to divide
Reality.
reality with expectations. They
Yep.
don't know how to divide the two, okay? Because when you play a video game so much that you only, like, you don't go outside, you barely go outside to eat, right? And you just obsess over one game. We'll take GTA 5. We'll
Yeah.
take GTA as an example. I know it is just the pickering of the fucking media
Well,
to go after.
But here's the thing. It's a
it's
good example.
just an
It's-
example.
It's a good example.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's a game about simulation in like a real city, but you play as a criminal enterprise. So it is a game
Right.
that centers itself in reality. It's not going to be a game like it's not going to be a game like Pal World where there's no fucking touch of reality to it. Like, it's not going to be Pokemon where there's okay, we don't have these fucking random creatures wandering around that are incorporated into our society.
Okay, but we do have forced labor, so yeah. See that?
What
that's
I
the
mean is
issue.
that
See, that's the
GTA's
issue.
only unrealistic aspect is like the criminal enterprise bullshit.
Correct. Yes.
Like, their physics
The-
are
the
fucked,
point
but
I'm
everything
trying-
else is realistic. That's what I mean.
Yeah. The thing I'm trying to make, right, is as GTA 5 as we'll use that as the puppet, right?
Yes.
GTA legitimately allows you to do anything in your capabilities that you can do with their engine, pretty much.
Literally.
As long as you can make the action in game, you can do it. And even with the help of mods, if you think of something, you could probably create it and end it up on either like a 5M multiplayer server, your own single player world, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The problem becomes when you become your character. And what I mean by that is because you think you are the person you are in game. That is when the problem occurs. That's when obsession occurs.
Yeah.
And that's when I believe that these sort of dangerous thoughts begin to happen.
No,
right?
I mean, absolutely. Like,
Start
I'll
to
say
be-
this on one end too. I don't mean to interrupt, but like, this is like a similar
No,
thing
you're good.
for
Go
like
ahead.
for like me and my own brand. Is like, my brand on the internet, Satan, like nice guy Satan, pretty much. That's who I am on the internet. And like in real life, will I occasionally joke into the brand, like if I'm at a convention or something? Yes. Do I actually think I'm Satan? No. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's the distinction between reality and fantasy. Like, do you think your character in GTA is a badass? Sure, you can think that if you want to. The problem is basically, as Oof was saying, it arrives when you are basically like idolizing this character, and you're just like, this person's actually a really good thing, when they're doing horrible shit. Where it's like, on another end, you can idolize a game character if you want, if they're a fine person. Like, I think my character of Lucifer is a great thing. Like, I think my character of Lucifer is a great thing. But it's also because he's not a piece of shit. That's not the way I've written it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, it's the same way with the GTA thing. Like, if your character is not a piece of shit, sure. But, like, they're GTA characters. They're horrible people.
Yeah. And I think a lot of this really occurs with either both confidence issues and self-esteem. I think that's one of the biggest players in that is especially when I don't like to use this word. I really don't. But especially when cyberbullying comes into play.
I was gonna say I want to add bullying into that mix.
I'm just gonna call it bullying. I in my opinion, okay.
Cyberbullying or real life bullying.
Cyberbullying does exist. Cyberbullying does exist, but to a certain degree.
Here's the thing: you're not gonna get beat up over the internet. You're not gonna get beat up over the internet. Can you get your shit rocked in real life? I think a lot of people.
Yes. I think that some people that use the word cyberbullying use it in the wrong context for the sense of they get one toxic game, they get one toxic guy in one Valorant match, and now they think they're cyberbullied and are, saying extreme things about themselves.
It's like cyberbullying is basically when you were the target of multiple people, pretty much, in my opinion.
Correct.
It's the same as like being in high school. If you're the target of a group, then you're being bullied, whether it's online or not. Yeah. But if it's just one guy who's an asshole to you out of like your daily life, it's just somebody who's being an asshole.
I'm sorry, but there's a block. There's a block button.
Like I get yelled at work.
I know they can just create and
I'm not being bullied.
I know they
I'm just getting an asshole. Like that's it.
I know they can just create a new account and then message you there, but guess what? There's a block button for that too.
Here's the thing. If it's repetitive and they keep making new shit, then I'm like, okay, yeah, technically you are being bullied because they're going out of their way to be a problem for you. But if it's one guy and then you never see him again, you're not being bullied at that point. You're just you're just a victim of an asshole.
It's just an asshole.
Like, yeah, that's it. Like, don't let the 5 minutes they're having, that they shit talk you, ruin the rest of your fucking day and think all this. But I want to add something else.
Like a funny story. Real quick before we jump off. I have a funny, tiny little bitty story. Every time I'm black. All right, I'm half black. Right, you guys know.
You know it's gonna be a racism story when it starts out with I'm black.
this is every time we have to start that way, you know where this is going.
You know it's immediately leading into a slur.
Yeah. So listen. I had to change my profile picture at one point on Ubisoft because I kept getting called the Heart Slayer, right?
Oh yeah, I remember this because your profile was what, like a photo of you, right?
It was just me. It was
because we've told this on the podcast before. I remember this.
Yeah, I've said this on the podcast before, but nowadays, I get the slurs not because they think I'm black, just because they
think it's okay to
nowadays. Now, see, nowadays when I'm playing like the finals, then I get a guy like that. Like I have footage. I'll show you. You don't. I'm not gonna put it up here.
We're not.
But there's this really racist dude that was really mad. Which really he should have been mad at himself because he was the worst player in the lobby. Regardless,
I love people.
What I like to do is I just fuck with them as much as possible. All right, it's like I literally be like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna call me that? Well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking piss in your mouth when you wake up in the morning. How about that? How do you feel about that, huh?
Well, the best part is because then they just get angrier and angrier, and you're not even mad. Like you're not even upset at this point. You're not even upset at this point, but they're just fucking they're just getting angrier and angrier.
Screaming.
And you're just like,
screaming.
Oh yeah? I'm going to make sure your pillow's warm when you go to bed. And then they're just like, fuck you. Fuck everything you stand for. And it's like, and they just keep going into it. And it's really funny because they just get so mad and you're just having the time of your life. Yeah. But I also love players who are like, the worst player on the team, and then they're just like, wow, thanks for nothing, guys. And I'm like, motherfucker, you have 2 kills.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Like, I had somebody do that. That's random little side tangent. I had somebody do that in Apex like a week and a half ago that I was playing. I had, I think, 9 kills. I think our other teammate had 14, and this other person had like 3 and was like, GG, you guys suck. And I was like,
you guys
motherfucker,
suck.
I had to pick you up 4 times. Fuck off.
Bro, I love that mentality though. It's such a funny mentality of just I am shit at the game, but I do not give a fuck. GG,
I'm shit at the game, but you guys did horrible.
Don't
and
care.
I'm just like, like here's the thing. Am I going to be mad if we win and you had the lowest kills and you say nothing? No. Like, you helped out. That is all I ask for. Like, if you're doing jack shit in the fights, yes, I'm going to be a little annoyed. But if you actually helped out and have, like, damage at least, then I'm like, okay, cool, we're good. But, you know, if you immediately go off as, like, the worst player on the team and say, wow, you guys suck, and then leave. How do we suck if I'm picking your ass up every fight and we're both getting more kills than you? Like, how am I the bad one here?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Do you need to leave? Do you need to leave at 40? By the way, to make sure.
That's when I have to get ready, but we're
33.
okay. Yeah, we're okay for now.
Okay. I was about to say we can move into like the more positive stuff if you want to.
I want to add one more thing to the thing you were saying, because you mentioned it was confidence issues, bullying, and what was the other one?
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Like, it's those, but I also want to say it's like it's also mental health, like depression, anxiety, and shit like that too. Because you could have none of those three issues. There.
Well,
like,
that's all.
I mean, it does
I was
all
about
lead
to say,
into
I
it.
feel like that's a part of it, right?
It definitely
right?
can be, but
Like,
like
you
I've
know,
known people who have depression, but like they've like worked out their self-esteem issues. They've worked out their confidence issues, but they still have the disease. Obviously, I don't want to say disease. They still have the mental health
condition.
Yeah, condition. Like they've worked out their self-esteem issues. They've worked out their confidence issues, and they like they're not a bullied person. But it's still like the fact is, even if you don't have those issues as a part of the mental health like conditions, it's still the fact that you have the condition itself. Because here's the thing. As anybody with mental health knows, like obviously if you don't have any mental health conditions, you're not going to be as like knowledgeable about this, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. But it's like anything can kind of spark those conditions. Because here's the thing.
Right.
Say you don't have self-esteem issues, say you don't have confidence issues, and say you're not a bullied person. But like, one thing like just scratches that depression really well. Basically, it's just like, okay, this makes me feel a lot better. You're going to start wanting to do that more. And eventually, if it becomes an obsession, suddenly you're going to be like, well, what if I do this in real life? What is that going to do for my depression then? And it's like this kind of dangerous thing of like trying to like self-mediate it, which, it's fine to do that so long as you know what the coping mechanisms are and you know what is too far at a point and what is like, this is too dangerous. So it's like,
see the problem.
It's not games causing it so much as like the human mind.
I think one of the biggest things that stems from is parents, because a lot of the time nowadays is parents are raising tablet children.
Here's the other thing.
Oh my fucking god!
The tablet children are insane. Like, here's the thing.
Wow.
The only one thing that I love about my childhood, the only phone I ever had was this like basically Nokia brick that you slid up to have a fucking keyboard. That was it. There were no games on it. There was no like interactive, nothing. There was nothing interactive about it. It was used for calls and for texting and occasionally looking up something on a really shitty browser. That was it. Like there was nothing else. And that was like that was all I needed as a kid because I wasn't trying to be on my phone 24/7. Now do I do it more often? Yes, because it's incorporated into all of my jobs. So it's I think
raising the next generation is going to be very interesting, right? Not like the tablet kids or where we're at now, but like if we were to raise kids right now, I think that'll be very interesting to see how it goes.
I think it's going to be interesting because as a generation, and I will say this, Gen Z, yes, was raised on the internet. We were not tablet children, but we were raised on the internet. No, let's be real.
We were raised on the internet, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, we weren't tablet children. Like, most of Gen Z didn't have an iPhone in their pocket when they were 4. Like, none of us had that. Like, almost none of us had that.
I do believe, though, that's kind of where it started, though, because when we were kids, the things we were getting were like, I guess the kids around us were getting, I didn't really get this, but like Kindle Fires, iPod Touches, stuff like that. That's when that first really started to pick up.
I want to say yes.
It just didn't get as bad. Yeah, it just didn't get as bad as exactly what it is now, where the parent is like, here, use this, be happy, so I don't have to raise you.
Well, I want to say yes and no to that, because here's the thing. My argument against, like, the Kindles, at least, is like, okay, Kindle's for reading, right? So, the only thing you really have access to on that is a book. So it's like...
Well, no, I meant I meant Kindle Fires when I say that. So I mean like the one that is just basically an Android tablet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe this was my experience then, because at least like all the Kindles that were around me when I was younger were all just ones that were books only. They were not the Fires.
Same here.
So like I mean, for me, it's like, you know, if somebody had a Kindle, not a Kindle Fire, just a regular Kindle, like that's books. So like to me, that's not exactly like a tablet child. It's really just kind of like, you know, a more interactive way to do reading. So it's like
that's just books.
Yeah, for me, I don't count that as like tablets really, unless it was a like Kindle Fire. And as for the iPod Touches, I mean, the Touch, yes, but like, you know, as a kid for me, I had like one of the original iPods, which was just music, nothing else.
Yeah.
So that
I was about to say I had an iPod Shuffle when I was a kid.
That's
I
what
didn't
it was,
get an
the
iPod.
Shuffle. Yeah, I had the Shuffle.
I didn't get an iPod Touch until I was like 12.
Yeah,
and I think that's also when I got my first phone. But that was
what's really funny. I found my iPod Shuffle the other day.
Oh, did you?
That's crazy. I opened a random drawer and I see this blue iPod Shuffle.
Nah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I have this shit still.
First off, my iPod Shuffle is long gone.
You know what's funny?
I lost it.
You know what's hilarious?
That's why I lost it.
I thought I got rid of it at one point. It still worked.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
So it's really funny. But, like, I don't count those two things as, like, you know, tablet children because, you know, they had one functionality and that was it. So my thing, like, nowadays is, like, we should not be giving them, like, phones and shit. Sure, if you want to give them, like, a small, like, Game Boy type device or, like, something like that, it's fine as long as you limit it. But it's the unlimited.
Give them a DS.
Give them a DS. Like, that's, like, what some of our generation had as kids.
That's that was
more, like, yeah, same. Like, that was more okay to me because they had, like, one set of functionality. And at least my parents, I'm not sure about, I can't speak for everyone's, my parents were kind of strict with it. And they were like, okay, you know, here, have it for, like, an hour or two, but then, you know, go do some shit. Go in the backyard. Go do something else. Like they had me doing other things too. They didn't just hand me a DS and say, "Here, play this for 8 hours." Like which like, you know, a lot of parents today are doing. And it's like, you know, I get it as well. Like, you know, if you want your kids to have a phone so you can contact them, like, you know, if they're a little bit more independent at a younger age, that's okay with me. Just don't give them like an iPhone. Cuz like A, they're more likely to get robbed, number one, and B, just give them a fucking flip phone. They don't need the games. They don't need they especially do not need the social media. But they don't need the games. They don't need all the shit. No. Just give them like a flip phone or some shit. Because A, it's going to be cheaper for you. All they need to do is call you and shit. That's it. And it's just, yeah. It's like a whole thing for me. But I mean.
Yeah. And even if they wanted to talk to their friends outside of school, they still can. They can
literally.
Text them. I have no problems with that.
Yeah. Like it's just my whole thing about it. Like it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, my problem begins is when we. Yeah, my problem begins is when we were starting to raise these children on social media platforms and stuff like that. That's terrible because now they want to live their lives like influencers, and that's not. It's not realistic at all.
It's not like they all
not realistic.
They all want to live their lives like that. It's a really bad thing now. But yeah, I mean, what was the original point of this? I lost my train of thought. How did we get onto the tablet children discussion?
We were talking about raising the next generation. We were talking about before that. Oh God, how did we get here?
I don't know, but
there was a point. There was a point to it.
There was, and I blanked on it. But you know, when it comes to raising the next generation, it's going to be interesting. Cause I feel like as a generation that wasn't like. Oh, that's what my point was. I remembered it. Like, when it comes to it, is like, you know, we're living in a new world. Like, think back 30 years ago. None of this shit existed. Okay, I mean, it existed in very small amounts. Like, you know, there were computers the size of fucking rooms that you could use. But nowadays, it's like, all right, it's all confined to a case that's like, that I can hold in my fucking arms. The monitor is literally thinner than my fucking arm. And it's like, it's all this, like, none of this shit existed 30 years ago. Like, the shit that we have right now. Like, you know, VR, wearing this on your face was not, like, this was not a realistic thing 30 years ago. This was kind of like, okay.
God, no.
Like, yeah, we are literally using
I mean,
tech.
back then,
it was a
30 years ago, they were trying to develop VR for the military.
Literally.
They was still in military development at that time.
I mean, what you even also have to remember is, like, you know, having a fucking iPhone, that wasn't a thing 30 years ago. Like, that came out in 2005. Like, it's something you got to think about. We are, like, I know you'll always hear this kind of wording in movies and shit, but, like, we're truly living in a new world. Like, we are the first generation that is living in this brand new world. Because not only
And it's-
did we start growing up around the time of innovation, we weren't born in
It's
the 90s.
the age of the internet.
Like, yeah, we weren't born in
it's
the 90s.
the age of the internet.
Because by the 90s, like people were born in the 90s. By the time that they started releasing all this shit in 2005, a lot of these people were like, okay, they're like starting
Either
to
in
become
high
teens.
school,
Like, yeah, they're
middle
starting to become
school,
teens.
right,
Like,
yeah.
we are the first generation that you are seeing that has grown up as all of this shit has developed. And it's like, my main concern for the next generation, like the one after us and the one that we're going to raise, is the fact that we grew up on the internet. We were not tablet children, but we grew up on the internet. We grew up with the assistance of it. And look how much it has fucked up our generation. Like, look at how much shit was thrown on the internet and how much, here's the thing. You'll never hear me say the internet and, all of these devices are a bad idea. You'll never hear me say that. Because think about how much it has changed our world and how much it has greatly helped us. Like, some of the closest people to me, for example, me and Uv, if the internet didn't exist, he and I live on two polar opposites of the country. I live in California. He lives
Never
in
would have met
Florida.
each other.
Never in a million
Never.
years would we have met. And even if I traveled to his city or he traveled to mine, we would have just been strangers passing each other in the street. We would never have just stopped each other out of nowhere and been like, yo, do you want to become friends? Because that's not realistic. But back then versus now, that's not a realistic thing. People didn't just stop each other on the road. Like, there were happenstance friendships like that, yes. But people did not stop each other in the road like that and just be like, do you want to become friends? So you'll never hear me say that the technology we have nowadays is a bad thing. But you will hear me say that it concerns me when there's unlimited access at a young age like that. Because the amount of internet access that we had as children, while yes, it was limited, it horribly fucked us up. And I mean, it caused a lot of things because there were so many things going around. The internet was new. There were less moderation. There was so much less than what we have now.
It's causing, I don't even think people realize what all it's causing. I mean, the whole reason why porn addiction has spiked in the last 30 years is because of the internet.
It's all unmoderated and that. Like, granted, it's better nowadays, but I remember still back in 2013, I was browsing the internet at one point, and I'm going to do a trigger warning for suicide and blood here, but I remember coming across a video, and this, I was 12. This horribly fucked me up for a while, but I came across a video of a guy just blowing his head off the shotgun.
Oh, I've seen that video.
Yeah, and I was 12 when I came across that. So it's like, imagine being 12 years old and you just come across, this dude's head exploding. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, granted, there is more moderation now on a lot of sites and stuff like that, so I appreciate it, but it's still just like...
Yeah, but hear me out.
We don't need to be raising people through the internet.
It took how long? What's the network that fucking Pornhub is owned by? I can't... Whatever. The major organization that most fucking porn that you watch is made by. It took them, what? How long is it's been 20 years to actually fully wipe the site so they can get the child porn off of it?
Well, it's not even that. All of the illegal stuff too. Like, they're a nightmare company, and I mean, when it comes to it, it's only just recently started to become heavily moderated. And I'm not even just talking about that Pornhub. I'm talking all of the internet. It's only recently becoming as heavily moderated as
and
it is.
And even now,
because all of these companies are realizing okay, parents are letting their fucking 8-year-old child on the internet. So all these companies are okay, Jesus Christ, even if this isn't a legal issue for us, we cannot be keeping this shit up here.
Right.
And for a lot of companies, it is a legal issue, but they are just getting fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I will say, we will have to wrap it up here.
I checked the time. Yeah. But yeah, we are gonna have to wrap it up here. But in short, my opinion will always be this when it comes to technology. Never will I say that innovation of technology is a bad thing. You're never going to hear those words come out of my mouth. I think we should keep developing this technology. We should keep developing the internet, the VR computers. We should develop all of it. Because here's the thing. With development comes safer and better restrictions. When the steam engine first came out, when all of these new things, take nuclear plants for anything. All of this technology was developed. Were there problems at first? Yeah, take Chernobyl. Take thousands of different tragedies and deaths that occurred through thousands of these innovations and these technologies. The internet is no different. It is a very brand new technology. I mean, the first computer isn't even 100 years old yet. Like,
Yeah.
we're not even near the ending phase of the beginning computer
I'll say this: the first modern computer is not 100 years old. There are computers that are actually decently
yes.
old, but they're they're technically computers.
They're technically computers.
They're not the computers that you would think of.
Yeah, they're algorithm machines is what I'd call them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like it was,
and even that is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, they're similar to Turing's World War II computer. Like that's
sorta, yeah.
So
it's kind of like
they're algorithms.
It's kind of like how you can it's kind of like how you can call that, what is the name of the alba, the little things that you slide and count numbers with. You know,
I don't know, but I know what you're talking
different
about.
Colors. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
They're basically
like
they were basically
technically a computer
machines.
Because it can make information, but it's not, a computer.
I would personally just call those algorithm machines, but yeah, I mean, like the first like real modern-ish computer, I guess, that like actually allowed you to do a lot of the things we do now, is not 100 years old. So it's like,
no,
it's all a brand new technology, and I mean, are there going to be problems with the first generations that experience it? Yes, same as like the steam engine, the nuclear reactor, all of this shit had so many tragedies and like deaths and problems before it became sustainable and recognizable as good. And I mean, the thing is this is advancing so much faster than any of these innovations before. So it's like we are running so much faster than any of our previous innovations. So this is
and
going
it's
to
only
be,
getting faster.
That's the thing. It's only getting
accelerating.
better because we're using these innovation and these devices to advance the innovation of the same devices. So it's like it's only going to get better and faster. And the thing is like with any sort of invention, we're going to have to catch up with the times, and that's just how it goes. Yeah. So it's like you'll never hear me say that advancing this is a bad thing, but you will hear me say that we need better moderation and better control of it when it's around the youth.
Yeah, that's true. I will end my last sentence of this topic will just be this. I hope, and I think it's pretty much too late already, but I just hope that, like the nuclear plants that you've been talking about, I hope we just don't get the stigmatism that is just all bad.
Yeah,
regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, and I will say, if you ever do end up thinking that it's all bad, you have to remember the good that's come from this too. Like, you will forever hear me preach that there is far more good that's ever come from these inventions than there has been bad.
Yeah.
Like, with everything, there's going to be good and bad. I don't know. Like take like nuclear reactor, and we'll take Chernobyl versus the power we get from them, and it's relatively clean energy too. So it's like
it is clean. I mean, we figured it out
the waste from it
nowadays.
Is what I mean. But nowadays, yes.
Well,
but
I mean nowadays. Yeah, nowadays
yes,
we don't.
I mean, back then, for example,
back then. Fair enough.
Like relatively clean energy back when Chernobyl happened, but there's going to be accidents like that when it starts out. So it's like there's always going to be good and bad. But from the internet and from all this technology we've developed, there's been far more good. It's been able to help thousands of people in hospitals, for example, and just like millions. Like it's been able to help far more people than it has hurt. And while I do wish there were things that I didn't see at such a young age, I wouldn't trade not having that versus like all the shit that it's done for us as a race species.
Yeah, I regret nothing. Like
I
know
regret nothing.
I witnessed way too many things way too early.
But
at the same time, with the life that I lived, I was, let's just say, I act. There's a reason I act a little older than I physically am,
here.
and it's just because I've been through so much shit.
I was an adult by practically 15 because of all the shit that I experienced.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, I mean, when it comes to at the very least, like, you'll never hear me in my life say that I wish I had a more perfect or less traumatizing childhood than to trade what we have now. Like, the amount of things that technology has done for me personally and millions of other people, I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't trade, like, those, like, I wouldn't trade the innovation that it has done for us for anything in my life improving. Never in a million years. But with that, I think we're going to end here. So, as always, guys, if you enjoyed, go ahead and hit, the like, the subscribe button, the follow button, whatever the fuck button it is on whatever platform. And if you'd like to listen to other platforms too.
Rate us 5 stars.
Exactly. Rate the podcast.
That helps.
If you'd like to know what other platforms we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and the Amazon device that I currently can't say because it's sitting right back there. But yeah, as always, you know, we're going to be back in the swing of things with the podcast. We will see you all on February 15th and then also February 30th.
If you want to.
And hopefully we're going to have a special guest coming up this month that we're going to be inviting that I met at TwitchCon.
Hell yeah. And so if you want to see him, on his own, he has his Twitch. It's LuciKOH. He also has YouTube, TikTok.
I've got every social media pretty much. And if you want to see Oof as well, Twitch. I don't know if you post on YouTube currently. Do you? No? Yes?
Not yet.
Not yet. But yeah, it's
I do YouTube shorts,
this is Oof with a 0 as the O as the first O.
Yeah.
But yeah. But all of our links will be down in the YouTube
say,
description too if you can't find us directly.
And I will say, by the time you're watching this video, because this is going to upload it on Tuesday, I will have started my stream schedule. Wednesday?
Wednesday's the 31st.
Oh, well, that's good, because I want to start it. Anyway, by the time this video comes out, I will have announced my actual stream schedule. Yes, that's right. I'm actually going to stream on a schedule now. It'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays, it'll probably be around 4 p.m. EST. Tuesdays is kind of a toss-up, because I have classwork that day, so it's really could be anytime.
But yeah, and if you guys want to catch me live on Crown Quest, Saturday, February 3rd, 12 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST. Come cheer on my team. But yeah, as always, we do hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be seeing you all on February 15th, hopefully with a special guest. If not, February 30th. But yeah, as always, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.